is the little box with the question mark icon. Please use this to submit any questions that you might have throughout the session, and we will be able to go through those with you at the end of the presentation. The focus of today's session is entirely dedicated to the event app, so if you do have any additional questions, either about any sort of operational or service deadlines, please contact our team separately for those, or you can watch the recordings from some of our previous drop-in sessions which went through all of that information. You can also upvote the questions asked by other people in the chat, so please do that so that we can prioritize those first and foremost and get those answers to you. And yes, we will have members of our team also commenting on your questions as we go, so keep an eye out for that as well. And finally, the webinar will be recorded. So in your exhibitor zones, you'll be able to access the recording just using that same link that you've registered for at a later date. Amazing. So before I hand over to Abby, I just wanted to run through a couple of things. First and foremost, I wanted to take through the process of creating your exhibitor badges, as you will need this in order to receive your email that contains all of the app login details. So to do that, in your eZone, you'll have to navigate to the boxes that are highlighted in yellow. So it's the create your badge or invite your guests. Now, you will find that there's a little button that says access manual, and this takes you through to the LiveBuzz portal where you can do those. If you have come across an issue in your exhibitor zone where you don't have this access manual button, please flag that with your account manager, or get in contact with the marketing team via the marketing inboxes, which a member of our team will share those in the chat for you, and we'll be able to sort that out for you. Once you're in the LiveBuzz portal, you'll be able to create your badges, so you can register each individual member of your team who's going to be on site with you on your stand, and also invite your any key prospects, and just spread a little bit of the word that you're going to be participating at the event. So super important to note, when you are creating your exhibitor badges, you must use a unique email address for each badge or each teammate. So if you're coming up with an error message that it's not letting you create a badge, that's usually the first and foremost reason why. It needs to be a unique email address. We also have the option for you to invite prospects as part of our LiveBuzz portal. We also have a pre-written message that we've got already set up for you, so you can either personalize this and send out your own message, or you can use one that is pre-written for you. So if you simply drop in an email address and then you hit preview, you will see this example, which is a template that we've created for you in advance to send out to your respective prospects. For any questions, either about accessing your LiveBuzz portal to create your badges or invite your guests, please get in touch with the team. All of our email addresses for each dedicated event are on the screen for you now. We have dedicated marketing teams and dedicated operations teams. So for any of those like service deadlines, you can reach out to the ops team. For anything, if you're after your access to your exhibitor zone, you can contact the marketing team. And that's all from me. I'll hand over to Abby now to go through the event app.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for having me. I'm delighted to see so many international folks joining this morning. So I'm glad that there's such an interest in the new app. I'm here to tell you all about it, and mainly to focus on, as it says here, getting more leads using the event platform and app. And that doesn't just mean using the app at the event, it means using it in advance of the event. Hi, Karina. Yeah, using it in advance of the event as well. Next slide, please. So we're going to talk about logging in, and before I start, one of the things that you should know is where your invitation to the app is going to come from. So I did a bit of a test this morning, and if you haven't received, if you've registered for the event using that portal that Lucy was just talking about, then what you're looking for is an email from this address. So in case you haven't received it already, perhaps it's gone into your spam, then you can use that to search for the email address. So we're going to talk about logging in, onboarding, completing your profile, what you can do with Teams, which is very exciting. This is how you can manage your reps and what they're doing and all of your meetings across your whole delegation, basically. We're going to talk about using recommendations and search to your best advantage. We'll talk about my schedule. I mean, I'm assuming that many of you won't have time to go and see the agenda, but how you can add sessions to your agenda if you want to. And then lastly, we'll talk about the mobile app and exporting your leads afterwards. Next slide, please. So why should you take part and use the app? I'm sure you've had examples of apps in the past. The main things are that you can look. You've not had an email, okay, Karen. The team will reach out to you during this session or after this session to follow up with that. So you're going to be using the platform and the app. They're both the same. So one is a web platform, one is the mobile app, but they're both connected. So anything you do in one is reflected in the other. So pre-event, you can show interest in people. This means that they'll receive a notification that you have shown interest in them, and it's going to encourage them to log in and show interest back. You can request meetings with recommended participants. This means that you can start reaching out to your prospects in advance of the event. Then during the event, you can scan badges. So that's the lead retrieval system. You can qualify and take notes on leads. So you can score the lead, you can take notes, you can tag other team members that they should take action on the lead during the event. And then afterwards, or even during, you can export your team's contacts and lead notes as well. And we'll go into that later. Great. So if you go to the next slide, please. And I'm seeing a fair few people come in saying that they haven't received. So with this, I think the Montgomery team will pick this up with you. The Food, Drink and Hospitality Week team will pick this up with you, because it may be that difference between the exhibitor portal and the app. So logging in for the first time. Next slide, please. When you log in for the first time, this is the email that some of you haven't had. Hopefully, most of you have had. This is what your email is going to look like. And when you look at the email, you're going to see your login details. This is your initial login details. It will give you a badge or registration ID. You're going to use this the very first time that you log in, and after that, you're going to set a password which you're going to have to remember. So there's the email, there's the badge registration ID, and you're going to click to either download the app, so you can do that from your phone, of course, or you can just go directly to log in, and that's going to take you to the login page of the app. Next slide, please. So this is what it's going to look like when you click on that. You're going to log in again, like I say, with that badge ID. If you have logged in previously, you're going to log in with your password. Next slide, please. So when you're on board for the first time, if you go to the next slide, please, you may be asked to fill in some additional information or confirm information that you've already completed about your company or your personal profile. So this is really important that you fill this in. This is how you're going to be recommended to people and how you're going to appear in filters and listings for them as well. So make sure that you don't skip past this, as tempting as it is, because this is really going to help the the AI matchmaking behind the scenes to know who to recommend you to. Next slide, please. Great. You may be asked to confirm your visibility, so your privacy settings within the app. Now, as you're all exhibitors, what I'd recommend is that you change this from connections only to public as well. So what this means is that your contact details will be available in the app. If it's connections only, This is only for people that you've either arranged a meeting with, or you've both shown interest in one another, or you've scanned your badge, scanned a badge with. So connections only is good. Perhaps most of the attendees are probably going to have it like this, just so that they don't get unwanted attention. But for you as exhibitors, I'd recommend that if you can, you change this to public. Next slide, please. So completing your profile, there's two sets of profiles within the app. One is your personal profile and the other one is your company profile. So next slide, please. Up here, when you log in, you've used either your badge ID or your password to log in. This is your landing page, and you're going to go straight up to the top right of the screen, and you're going to click on that little icon. It may not have a profile picture in there just yet. That's what you're going to add. So you're going to go to the top right, edit profile, make sure that you've completed that to the best of your ability, add a headshot, all of that stuff that's going to make you much more approachable and attractive, let's say, to reach out to within the app. So make sure you've done that. The other thing that you can do from this menu is manage your availability. Now, this might apply if you are only attending one of the days, for example. You might want to change your availability so that nobody requests a meeting with you on a day that you don't intend to be there. So make sure that your team have done this as well. It's really important so that they don't have to keep rescheduling meetings coming in for days that they're not around. Next slide, please. So Teams, this is your kind of, I know we've talked about the exhibitor portal, but within the event platform, this is your kind of exhibitor portal. The attendees don't have access to this area, but it's very good for you. Next slide, please. We call it Teams, confusingly, like Microsoft Teams, but not, Grip Teams. And to get there, on your home page, you're going to go next to where your profile icon is, and you're going to see something that says My Team. When you click in there, next slide, please. It's going to open up a whole new set of menus. So you can see along the top here that it starts with meetings and ends with export there. What I'd suggest, because you haven't done anything in here so far, if you're just logging into Teams for the first time, is that you go directly over to your company profile and you make sure that this looks really, really good. This is how you're going to appear, your company's going to appear in the app and on the platform for people to find you. So again, making sure those questions, those demographic questions are completed fully. And you can also add in here a header banner so that when people click onto your company profile within the app, they've got a nice looking header in the web platform. Yeah, so make sure to click update profile. That's going to save it for you. Next slide, please. What you can also do in here, and I suggest that you go here secondly, even though I'm not going along the top in order. This is important for if you've got a large team and on site you want them to be asking the same set of questions to the prospects that are coming and speaking to you. This is where you can create those questions so that notes can be easily taken to accompany that lead. So here's one that I prepared earlier. Now I've come in as part of the FDHW team. So for example, I might say, which events are they interested in? And I've put all the different events that make up Food, Drink and Hospitality Week. Now, when I scan a badge, I can qualify that lead and click the options to make it really easy to follow up afterwards. This might be for you products that you sell or services that you deliver. Which services are you having a conversation about? They can multi-select. Now you can add as many questions here as you like. To add a question, you just go down the bottom there saying new question. Do not forget to save changes. That's really important. But any member of your team who's scanning badges or interacting on the platform can add these details to the leads that they're working with. So it's a really nice thing. Your prospects don't see this at all. So you can add notes and questions in here, to your heart's desire, and they're not going to see anything that you've said about them. So yeah, use those well. Next slide, please. Oh, one thing to say is that they can be multi-select, single select, or free text. But there is a notes section outside of that, so don't think that you have to say and add notes here. You get the notes automatically added. The next thing, now I didn't have any leads in the platform because I'm not really attending. But forgive, this is the Surface Design Show example. But if you go over to leads, which is the second tab along the top there, you're going to be able to see those attendees who've either shown interest in your company one of your team members, perhaps they've added a session that you're speaking at or sponsoring to their schedule, and you're able to review those leads and start reaching out proactively. So it's almost kind of inbound leads, let's say, but it gives you a nice good head start on perhaps people who haven't necessarily reached out to have a meeting with you, but have shown a little bit of interest that you can then take action on. So you've got a few options here, and I'd suggest you go in regularly in the run up to the show to review these leads. This will always be updating as attendees take actions within the platform. Now, I'm not sure how far along the team are with inviting attendees to the platform. Don't worry if you've got nothing in there just yet. It might be that the attendees are only just starting to go in. This will certainly develop closer to the event and even during the event as well. So a few options here. One, you can actually view the lead details. So this is where you would add those qualification questions, take some notes in advance of the event. You can show interest in that person. You can request a meeting with them, or you can skip that person if you don't think that they're interesting to you or your team. Now, skipping as well, they don't see that. So don't worry that you're going to offend somebody. But the more actions you take within the platform, and I'll come on to this again later, the more actions you take in the platform, so even if it's skipping a lead or a profile, it's the AI is learning from your behavior. So less people like this, please. More people like this, please, you've shown interest in. Next slide, please. Next thing to do, I'd suggest is that you make sure that all of your team members are in your team. So make sure that all of your representatives who are going to be on site is listed here. If there's anyone missing, I would suggest firstly that you go to the exhibitor portal that Lucy was just talking about to make sure that that they are actually registered for the event. And make sure that there's nobody in this list who needs to be accepted to your team. So it might be that they've applied to be part of your team and you haven't quite yet accepted them. Making sure you've got a full list of people, make sure that all of those leads gathered by all of the people at that event are aggregated into one for your export. So this is really important. You check this in the run up to the event. Next slide, please. Great. So again, forgive the surface design show example here. But when you've made some leads, you've made some contacts. So contacts are made, like I say, through scanning of a badge, you showing interest, them showing interest back, or vice versa, or a meeting has been arranged between you. These are going to be contacts, and you'll be able to see them in this tab along the top there that says contacts. You can go in there with that little cog, and you can start, again, rating that lead, taking notes on that lead, tagging your team members to take action afterwards. All of that stuff will be saved in that lead details area. Don't forget that you can also add columns to view or filters on the side there. So a lot of people don't even spot that exists, but you can actually add columns so that perhaps you can see a little bit more of the information about that person in front of you there. I mean, it will all come in the export anyway, but this is just a nice little overview. You can do a little bit of a skim through the event. Next slide, please. This is where you export. So as I mentioned at the start, you don't need to wait until the end. If you want to do follow-ups after day one, for example, this will be there. It's completely up to date at all times of the event. So you can export your meetings list if you want to. Most people go directly to exporting contacts and badge scans there. Now, one thing to make clear is don't worry if you don't see in the app somebody's email address that you've scanned. It might be that they've put their contact details to private, as I mentioned before, but you will be able to see, if you've scanned them, that overrides those settings. So in your export, you'll have all of their contact details. You'll also have all of their demographic data that they've completed as well. So don't worry. And if you want to test that first thing, on the first morning, please do, because you need to have confidence that that it's going to work in the way that you want it to. So again, you can do this at any stage once you're there, or even now if you've got leads already, contacts already, I should say. Right, so next slide, please. Recommendations and meetings. Let's go to the next slide. So here's how you should interact with your recommendations to get people to be able to see leads that are pertinent to what it is that you do, sell, provide. So to get there, you're going to go to recommended for you there. You'll notice that there isn't a full attendee list in the platform, but here is where you'll see the recommended for you list. You'll also see at the top there a search bar, and that's global search across the platform. You'll see it in the app as well. This allows you to, let's say you searched for, not that you do this, food. It will bring up every company that, or bio that's got food in it. It'll bring up every session that's got the word food in it. It's really good search across the whole platform. So if there's somebody in particular that you're looking for, go straight to search. If you want to see who's recommended to you based on what they've said they're interested in and what you've said that you provide, then that's the best place for you to go. So next slide, please. You will see under the recommendations, as you click on them, what they've said about themselves if they filled anything in. So, for example, here we've got Vasil, who said that he's interested in drinks, mixers, and prepared food. There'll be a little bit more information about that person, and where there are matches between what you've said you supply and what they've said they're interested in. Those little lozenges will be coloured more darkly so that it will actually pull out that this is a match for you. So what this means is you can then start using that information in your requests for meetings or showing of interest, so that rather than just inviting them to meet with no context, you can say, I see you're interested in this, I provide this, let's have a chat. Next slide, please. Here's where you would show interest in someone. This is kind of that layer before inviting them for a meeting. Perhaps you want to share contact details with them, so you just want to connect with them. They would have to show interest back for you to become a connection. But here is where that little arrow to the side of show interest is where you would add a little personal message. Next door to that, next slide, please. You'll see request a meeting. Now, again, going back to, it's really important that you've put in what days you're going to be there, because this is where the meeting times will come up that are available to you. And so in here, you can add more people to the meeting if you want to. You can add a personal message. And here is where the locations and dates and times that are mutually available to both parties, or 3 parties or 4 parties, depending on who you've added to the meeting. So yeah, like I say, this will only come up with available times and spaces for all of the meeting parties. Underneath that, you'll see that you have, I had certainly, a set number of meeting requests left. So you're allowed to have a certain amount of outreach before you actually need to start actually pulling some back and so on. Now, this is, of course, to prevent people just asking for meetings with every single person in the event. What I'd suggest that you do with this is that you ask for, use up all of your meeting requests at the start with the people that you most want to meet with. If after a couple of days they haven't replied, perhaps pull that back and maybe just show interest instead, and start asking more people. Certainly the attendees, from my experience, will get more active right before the event. This far out, they tend not to be as kind of interested in what's going on. It tends to be much closer to the event. But yes, you can send that invitation straight away. Next slide, please. If you want to have a look at who's been inviting people to meetings within your team, make sure that they're all doing lots of outreach, you can go back into My Team, and on that first tab, you're going to see meetings. And in here, you can see all of your team members, whether they've got meetings, pending meetings, perhaps there's meetings that that they need to respond to as well. That will all be in this big table, and you can even filter by team member or the status of the meeting there. Next slide, please. Search, I've talked about it a little bit before. Next slide, please. That's all the way at the top there. As I mentioned, it can show sessions, it will show people, it will show speakers, products, companies, anything. So use that to your advantage. Next slide, please. My schedule. So in my schedule, this is where any meetings that you've added to your calendar will appear. It will also be any sessions that you've added to your schedule. You can actually synchronize this with your personal calendar. So whether that's your iCal, Google Calendar or whatever, make sure to do that, because it just gives you an extra opportunity to get another notification, on your phone, just as you'd get any other meeting reminders. Next slide, please. So the key bit, lead retrieval at the show. So you're not limited in the number of scanners that can be used, or number of devices that can be used, as long as your team reps are listed in that Teams platform. Then they can all be using their phone to scan. You'll see this is what the app looks like at the home page. I'm logged into one of the events. You might have a slightly different view depending on which event you're exhibiting at. This is how the recommendations work on your phone. It's very much like if you've ever used a dating app. You swipe right for interested, you swipe left for skip, as long as you go from the top of that card. So it allows you to take action really quickly, or down the bottom there you can see show interest or skip. You can click on the person's name and open it up. I've just seen a question come in. The name of the app is Food, Drink and Hospitality Week. It will look like FDHW, FDHW on your home screen. And yes, it's on Android and Apple. So when you've shown interest in somebody, as I say, they will receive a notification for that. If somebody's getting a lot of notifications, they will, the notifications will start going out twice a day rather than every single time. Same with meeting requests as well. But know that they do receive a notification when you've shown interest or requested a meeting with them to their email. Next slide, please. So to scan badges, on the homepage of your app, you will see there My Badge and a badge scanner. So one is to show your badge, although you'll probably be wearing one with the same or similar QR code on there that does the same thing. The badge scanner, when you click on it, you're going to need to give your phone permission to open the camera, or the app permission to open the camera. Make sure to do that. If you don't do that, it's obviously not going to work, and then you're going to have to come and find me to sort it out for you. So when you scan a badge, all you're going to do is you click on badge scanner, give it access to your camera just once, and it's going to open up that camera, and you just hover the scanner over a QR code on a badge or the badge in somebody's phone, and there will be a notification, much like the below there, that tells you that you've scanned them. You don't need to press anything to scan it. Once it recognizes the QR code, it will bring up that sort of success pop out. And then you can hit on start qualifying to start, answering those questions that you've set up in advance. If you haven't set up any questions, and you don't need to, you can still rate the lead and add notes to the lead and tag team members in those notes as well. So it's very, very simple to use. What I'd suggest is that you test it on the first morning, because what we don't want is halfway through the event you say, oh, it wasn't working for me, and then you've missed out on leads. So really, I'm actually there myself at this event the day before and on the first day to help with any queries. Please don't wait to any issues at all. Please come and sort it out straight away. We want to make sure that you're having a good time. Don't be a stranger. Next slide, please. So how do we improve recommendations? This is just some top tips. Any sort of interested or skip on another user is teaching the platform what you want to see and what you don't want to see. Requesting a meeting, obviously that's a clear indication of the kinds of things that you want to, the kinds of people that you want to meet. And any searches, that's also teaching the platform what you want as well. So make sure to interact with it in whatever way, whether that's just saying no, saying yes, meetings, searches, whatever you like. Just make sure that you're making good use of it. Next slide, please. Top tips, log in early. Don't wait till you get there. Download it now. Start playing around with it. Build out your profiles. That's company and personal. Look at your recommendations. Do searches. Show interest. Request meetings. Respond to meeting requests. It's amazing how many events we have where the exhibitors are the ones who've had a meeting request to them and they haven't responded. So make sure to find your pending meetings in the app or on the web platform, and make sure you're responding as well. Download it before you arrive, as I say, and don't forget to export your connections and meetings. That's what you're there for. So make sure to do your follow-ups. That will also have your notes and so on in it as well. That's the end from me. I'm going to take some questions now. Lucy, do you want to come in and ask them, or shall I just go ahead and answer them?
Yep, absolutely. So I'm going to show the questions on the screen, and then Abby can answer them from there. So,
great.
Question number 1.
Will exhibitors be able to export lists? So you can export your own lists individually if you want to. That's from the profile. Do you remember right at the start when I showed you your profile? You can export them individually, but actually in Teams, that's the full compilation of all the badges scanned from the whole team on the stand. You will be able to see whose scan it was. So it will say scanned by so-and-so. So if you export it, and it comes as a CSV file or an Excel file, you can still filter that if you wanted to have the individual lists of who's done what. Hopefully that answers you, Teddy.
This one.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you can take this one, Lucy. I think it depends on whether you're registered or not, but I don't see, functionally, there's no reason why you can't.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think as long as you've had access to the exhibitor zone, which you can access on each of the event websites, we've got a login link there for you. You should be able to, through that, log into the LiveBuzz portal to create badges for your team. They should then be able to receive the automatic email, which is triggered from Grip, which sends out their all the information to download the app with their badge ID as well, because they will need that to log in. But yeah, that should be fine.
Great.
Next one. Let's see. We've had a couple of questions about if the app works on iPads as well as desktop. But yes, I believe works across Apple and Android, and then also on your desktop as well.
Exactly. And if you've got something like, for example, I've got like a Chrome, a sort of Chrome tablet type thing. So it's not really designed for apps per se. You can always go into the web version as well. So it depends on what device that you open up the login link with. If it's on an app, it'll take you to the App Store. If it's on an app. If it's on a mobile, then it will take you to an App Store to download it. If you open that link on a web browser, then it will take you to the web version. So if you have any struggles with not being able to open the app on an iPad, the only thing that I'd say is that the web version doesn't allow you to scan badges. So if you can, I would use your mobile devices rather than tablets, just in case there's any, in case it doesn't allow you to download the app on there. Do some testing in advance. That's what I suggest.
Thank you, Abby. And then we might have time for maybe one more question before we wrap up, as I know everyone has a very busy day.
Actually, may I take this one? Because I think that's a really good question. Do you need to be connected online while in the exhibition to scan visitors? The badge scan, as long as you've downloaded the app, you've logged into the app in advance, you don't need to be online to scan visitors. It will store it kind of, locally until you get connection again, and then it will upload. In a worst case scenario, if you're scanning a badge, what will happen, and there's absolutely zero internet connection, it will obviously not recognize the badge because it's got nowhere to sort of pull the information from. It will just say offline scan. You take the note of the person, and you can still take your notes and everything. And again, when it reconnects, it will reconnect the scan that you made with the person's details. So don't worry about that. Again, test on site. We know what venue Wi-Fi can be like sometimes, so just make sure you test on site and make sure again that you've downloaded everything in advance of the event.
Thank you, Abby. We've had quite a few questions come in just about, again, accessing your badge ID. Obviously, the team has dropped in the links to downloading the app across Android, Apple, and also accessing via desktop. But when you do download those, you do need to have your badge ID handy in order to log in initially. And to have all of that, remember, as we talked about earlier in the session, you need to make sure that you've logged into your exhibitor zone on the website, gone into the LiveBuzz portal with the Create Your Badge tab, and created your badges for your teammates in order to get that badge ID. So make sure you have done that first and foremost before you can access the event app. Okay.
Can I just do a couple of quick fires?
Yeah.
Can you do a test download of data to see what the format looks like? If you've added people, if you've got connections, yes, of course, you can do that in advance. What info does the app show about attendees? I would just suggest that you start trying it out, and you'll see exactly what data is available to you. What site? Oh, somebody's asked, what site do we visit to create a badge?
That would be so via the exhibitor zone links, depending on what show you're exhibiting at. So if that's IFE Manufacturing, IFE, HRC, the Pub Show, or Hospitality Tech 360, we have separate event websites for all of our shows. If you need a link for that, please contact your account manager, but you can do a quick search as well on Google for your relevant event. And then on those, in the menu navigation bar, you will see a link to accessing the eZone or the exhibitor hub. It should be under the exhibit tab, and you'll be able to log in from there.
Where will I be? Somebody's asked where I'm going to be for the app help desk. I don't think I know the answer to that yet.
No, I don't think we know that yet either. So we will, we'll send out an email before we come on site, which has all of the key sort of hubs or rooms where our marketing teams will be, where our ops team will be, and where Abby and the event team will be as well. So we will share all of that information with you guys in the lead up to the event.
Great. Thanks, everybody. And thanks for having me. And have a great event. I hope to see you there. But also, I hope to not see you there because you're having no issues and everything is smooth. So, yeah, have a brilliant time. And thank you again.
Thanks so much, everyone. So we're 5 weeks to go now, which is very exciting. If you do have any additional questions from now up till the event, please do get in contact with the team, either our marketing team or our operations team via these email addresses. And we will, look forward to seeing you at the show. Thanks so much, everyone.